Hey, Dean Buckaroos! How the heck are you? I am Trying to Be a Whisperer. This is the not quite Irish coffee video. South Station Blues from the Joe Perry Project playing using my left-handed coffee mug, because I hold it with my left hand there for you to see that, as that whipped cream melts and cascades down. Yeah, it's not quite Irish coffee because I didn't have Irish whiskey, unfortunately. The only Irish whiskey I have at the moment. This is some 16-year-old Bushmill single malt. Didn't want to put bad in here. But I did have some 100 proof Evan Williams bottled bond, so I used that. So it's you know, and what is bourbon but Irish whiskey for Americans? Because that's what Americans see when they keep moving. Anyways, so what I've got in here is I didn't measure everything out, but I did measure the whiskey. I've got 2 ounces of whiskey, whatever amount of coffee's in this cup, and then the whipped cream on top. I didn't use any additional sugar. I know most recipes call for you to use, some say a tablespoon of sugar, some say simple syrup, some say a sugar cube. I didn't use any at all because this is a sweetened whipped cream, and it's going to, as it melts, it's going to get it as sweet as I personally want. Now, some are going to want it sweeter, but I'm just not that guy because I want to taste the coffee and the liquor. Whatever it is, whether it's Irish whiskey or bourbon, I want to taste whatever the hell is in here. Oh, cheese biscuits, that's good. Yeah, but again, as that melts, it's that sweetness from this whipped cream is going to add to it, and there you go. So anyway, I digress. And still the one from Orleans now on Whiskey Whisper Radio. We'll call this a Whiskey Wednesday. I'm trying to set it up on my YouTube where I've got a whiskey video uploading every Wednesday for Whiskey Wednesday. So here you go. Now, it's not live, I get it, but you're just going to have to take it for granted. You're just going to have to trust me, y'all. This is a Whiskey Wednesday video as we head into fall. You're still the one. You're still the one. It was used for years for CBS. I think I still use it, actually, occasionally. Well, they do flashback commercials, anyway. Yes, CBS. You're still the winner. Anyway. They were a great soft rock band back in the day, Orleans was. Them and Ambrosia. Now, there were others, but I mentioned those two specifically because both, well, actually, more so Ambrosia, but both of them kind of, you know, these were the songs you knew and were heard on the radio, but they also had a harder rock side that didn't find its way to the radio. Unfortunately, they weren't hard enough to be on rock stations, but they were too hard to be on soft rock stations. But yeah, Orleans and Ambrosia are the 2 bands that come to mind at the moment. Atlanta Rhythm, ARS, Atlanta Rhythm Section's another one. But still, they did a lot of soft rock hits, but they also had some stuff that could have gotten hard rock play, but they didn't because they were labeled as a certain sort of band. Excuse me while I scratch my nose. I hate when I do that, but sometimes I just can't have it. So anyway, even though I know you can't see the Jameson, I'm going to flip to my right hand. As you can see, my whipped cream melting and cascading down. Oh. Something about a combination of coffee, whiskey, and whipped cream. It just works. I mean, it's just freaking brilliant, man. I don't need that extra sugar in there. Why do you need that? But almost all recipes I see call for either sugar, simple syrup, or sugar cube. I personally don't want it that sweet, but I know a lot of folks do. I want to taste the coffee. I want to taste the liquor. And I want to taste the whipped cream. So I don't need a sugar coated, right? I want to know there's actual whiskey in there, whatever that is, whether it's Irish or bourbon. And I want to taste the coffee. So again, I don't need the sugar. If I'm drinking just coffee, I'm drinking a black. Still the one. Still the one. Orleans. Gosh darn it. That was a great band, man. got that coffee a little hotter than I wanted, and it cooled down, so I heated it up a little bit, but got it a little hotter than I wanted. Brian got it, and my whipped cream melted. Oh, God, that's good though. It's right about now though, it's perfect. It's got the right amount of sweetness for me. You get that cream again, both the creaminess and the sweetness from that whipped cream. Now, if you're making it yourself, see when I make them at home myself, I did make this at home myself, but when I make the whipped cream myself is what I should say. I make an unsweetened whipped cream and put it on there. But here I used a canned whipped cream, and with the sugar, I did need more sugar. Oh, Howlin' frickin' Wolf, baby. Smokestack Lightning. This man was a genius. You know, I don't know what rock and roll we would have had, to be honest with you, if Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf didn't exist. And it irritates me that those guys don't get the credit they deserve. Now, early on, the early days of rock and roll, I mean, Eric Clapton did pay homage to Muddy. And it just frosts my buns a little bit that, you know, these guys, the contemporary blues artists I'm talking about right now, like Larry Garner, Walter Trout, these guys that are keeping the blues alive, are more popular in Europe. They can actually tour in Europe and make money, and they can't here in the States because Americans are just freaking assholes. Americans don't care about the roots, don't want to understand the roots. People think they hate blues, right? I play blues all the time. But I'll have someone say, damn, that's a great song. What is that? And I'll tell them what it is and remind them that they told me like 30 minutes ago they hated blues, and yet they told me they liked that song. A lot of folks just don't fucking understand what blues is. And it chaps my ass, man. It frosts my bedside. Anyway, back to Zen. Serenity now. Anyway, cheers. Cheers, motherfuckers. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, coffee. Yeah, it's good. What can I say? I love making it at home. I hate ordering out at restaurants because one, it's too expensive, and two, they do what I mentioned earlier, is they make it too friggin' sweet. When I do this at home, I don't do it a lot, but on a day I don't have to work the next day, yeah, it's just good. It's just good. Anyway, I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. Tom the Irish Coffee Whisperer. I'm Tom the American Coffee Whisperer. Anyway, I'm Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. Whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, pervert with the man. It's cooler now, but still too warm shit. I tell you what, by heating it up though, those whiskey fumes are clearing up the sinus. That's another good thing about Irish whiskey. It's medicinal. Yeah, you take this, just don't try to drink it so fast. Just, oh yeah, it'll clear up them sinuses like nobody's frickin' business. NyQuil my ass. Take a couple of Naproxens and some Irish coffee. That'll do you a whole lot better than NyQuil, I guarantee you. And it tastes a lot better. Put a couple shots in there. Take a couple of Naproxen. Hell, you don't need freaking or Advil if you'd rather have Advil. It'll fix you up a lot better than NyQuil will. If you're afraid of the caffeine, use a decaffeinated coffee. Me, I don't, because I'm not a pussy. But anyways, I digress. A mystery. Oh, it's the bubblegum portion of Beer Whisper Radio, or Whiskey Whisper Radio, I should say. But he knows live. It's a grassroots version. The original was done by Edison Lighthouse, but the grassroots did that version too. And I just want to say, hey! But we got a couple game shows the wife and I like to watch tonight, so I'm going to flip in the house in just a little bit, man. I just got to tell her I love her endlessly. Oh, love grows where my rosemary goes, and nobody knows like me. Anyways, I digress, man. Cheers. One more time. Okay. Serious, all serious. I apologize for the frivolity. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, prayer with the man. And I just want to say, hey. Oh. Around. I just gotta tell her that I love her endlessly. Because love grows where my rosemary grows, and nobody knows like me. That was terrible, Tom. You stink. But it's about the feeling, man. The feeling in my soul, man. Oh, it's a biscuit. Good. All right, good. Oh, I got a burp stack. Now we go to the fluff portion of Beer Whiskey Whisper Radio. ABC when Smokey sings. Take 3. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer. Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, perfect wisdom, and all around. Good. Yeah, that'll set me free. I hope it does the same to you.